Zane Lowe.
Hi, Tom.
Before we begin the interview, I have to ask this for my sister. She specifically asked, can you confirm or deny that you are on board?
I am indeed on board here in Coventry, in Warwick, I should say. Yeah, I'm on board, yeah.
Brilliant. So we are halfway through Freshers Week. I guess this must be a pretty busy time of the year for you.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally we head out on this tour. It takes, in 15 to 20 shows on a yearly basis, and, this has easily been the best one. I mean, easily. And we've had some great tours before, but every place we've played has been really well attended, and everyone, the energy that they bring has been incredible, and partnering up with Nokia and them giving us, some support to make sure that the lights and the sound was all good. And, you spend so much time doing festivals, and the variables of festivals are the things you enjoy, and then by the end of it, they're the things that drive you crazy. What's the weather, what's the sound, what's this like, who you're playing with, is there a crowd, not a crowd. So when you get to these kind of rooms and you know the people who run it, and you know that they're good at what they do, and we take our job seriously, so you minimize the variables for disaster.
Are students a different crowd?
They're enthusiastic for music. I mean, it's when music really hits you at a certain age, I think it becomes a real priority for you in a certain part of your life. And then if you choose to make it your life, like I've been lucky in the sense that outside, my family and closest friends, music is the most important thing creatively to me.
And if you were...
Not always for everybody, and so, this is when, even people who go on to pursue other degrees or other interests, music is their thing now,
Cool. So if you were a fresh-faced economics student coming to the University of Warwick, who would you want to see headlining your Freshers Week?
This year?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be happy to see Knife Party. I'd be happy to see, Annie Mac or Mr. Jam. I'd be happy to see, any of the people that are out on the circuit right now are working hard and either making original music or playing great music. I think this. What's really cool is that universities and places like the Copper Rooms and other places like the UEA or the Engine Shed, they've moved with the times and they've upgraded their venues. So these are established gig venues now. You don't just see them once a year when you're doing an autumn tour. You can see them a couple of times a year, and bands come through and artists come through. These are state-of-the-art venues now. So, it's not like, okay, which kind of hall or cafeteria / venue are we going into? It's like, this is the Copper Rooms. You're walking in. I mean, you got Sub Focus tomorrow or something? Or
yeah, next week Sub Focus. Sound based on.
I mean, these are big DJs and big acts, so you can't lose.
Okay. What normally happens in these Warwick TV interviews is we get someone famous here and we start taking the piss.
Go ahead.
But
it's my job. Man, I like that vibe. I work to that effect.
Now, I've got to say this because I've seen you 3 times in a row at Freshers now, and each time you've been unbelievable.
Oh, thanks, man.
And you get some DJs, some bands, you see them once and they're great, you see them twice and they're all right, but you see them the 3rd time and you've seen it all before.
You're over it, yeah.
Why are you so good?
I know I don't know. I can't answer that question. I mean, for me, I just try and do something that inspires me to do the best I can, because I never want to phone it in. I never want to get to a situation whereby I'm doing it for any other reason except primarily because I enjoy doing the shows. And if it gets to the point where it's for other reasons primarily, then I'll chuck it in, because I feel really strongly about music and making the connection between audience and song, and I'm incredibly fortunate to be able to do that, not only on radio but in studios and now on stages, and I never want to lose the primary passion for that. So when I come back, I want to make sure that it's better.
Cool. Okay. I think you are the best DJ on Radio 1.
Oh, man.
I think Mr. Jam is the best DJ on 1 Extra.
Yeah.
We had him here on Tuesday.
He's a total peer.
Have you sound clashed against Mr. Jam?
Yeah, we've done verses. We did some verses together in the early days of verses when we got the boxing metaphor. We took it a little too seriously. So whereas now we kick it off, and after 5 minutes we just drop all that stuff and we just kind of play records and have a laugh. Back then it was like, I'm going to take you down, I'm going to take you down. And so Jam is an incredibly passionate person about his music, and he brought every single conceivable VIP in existence into his show and just demolished me, basically. Killed me.
So he won.
He definitely won the first one. I think I might have won the second one. We left it on a draw. But neither of us want to go back and do another one, because it's like, we're at a stage whereby we're friends, me and Jam, but it got so crazy when we were in the studio doing records because we're quite similar in that sense. I think both of us want to keep the peace.
Well, I was going to suggest before you said that we've got Vass, our entertainment's bookings person, here. We could make the booking now, Vass. if you
Me
want to
versus
get
Jam.
if you want to get Jam and Zane for next year,
Jam and Zane for the summer party, I think.
For the summer party?
That'd be great.
Book it up.
Yeah.
Book it up. I'd love to do it.
versus.
Fun.
Is
Be
that,
fun.
is that on record?
It's on record that it's a possibility.
we'll pencil you in.
All right, that's a very appropriate response.
Okay, and one final thing to ask of you.
Hit me.
This gentleman here is called Amar. He's our producer.
Yeah, we met.
He said to me the other day, I absolutely love Zane Lowe. He's a good DJ, but I love the sound of his voice.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Amar, and God bless you. And I want to shout out to everybody else who's checking us.
So if you could just look to that camera there. We've only got one camera, but it's what they say on television. We've got two. And if you could just wish Amar the very best for this coming academic year, that'd be very much appreciated.
Hi, Amar, on that camera, and now watching the footage on this camera. I wish you all the best for your academic year ahead. Study hard, but not too hard. Let the information work into your brain, absorb it naturally. Don't overthink it, otherwise you might confuse yourself. That always worked for me, but then I was never the greatest. Anyway, have a great year and a great Christmas.
Brilliant. Zane Lowe, thank you very much.
Nice
Cheers,
to
man.
meet you.